Hey, my friend, it's Steve Havill, coach, consultant, and ambassador of Sharing the Love. And in this week's message, I want to talk about feeding our minds. Right? You've all heard the saying, garbage in, garbage out. What we feed ourselves is they're the building blocks of what creates our physical bodies. Well, the same is true of our minds. What we put in every day determines what's going on up there, determines whether we got stinking thinking or whether we are large and in charge. We are inspired in our life. And that's all about input. So the question is, what are we feeding ourselves and how's it serving us? And that's what I want to talk about today. See, we have a choice. We have a choice on our intake. Is it nourishing us? Or is it just filler? Empty carbs, no nutritional value. Or worse, is it toxic? Is it breaking us down and keeping us from being who we want to be and expressing what we want to express? And we can really consciously direct how we feed our minds. One of my greatest mentors, Brendan Burchard, talks about putting yourself on an information diet, right? How you really look at what it is that I'm feeding myself and cut out a lot of those toxins, cut out the fillers, stay with the nourishing stuff. And so what's the challenge? Why is it that we don't all feed our mind good stuff all the time? Well, there's a lot of reasons. There's tribal culture. There's all the things, that we get into that we say, oh, this is a part of us. Or specifically, so many of my clients and my friends say, oh, I just need that time to wind down, man. I just want to go blind, watch a few shows, go to bed. And hey, I get it. It's all good. The question becomes, is it serving you? What are you watching? So this week's challenge, the 3 things I want to invite you to take on is, just assess your weekly dietary intake. What kind of shows are you watching? Are they really nourishing you? Why do you like it? What's the impact that it's having in your life? Are you watching medieval brutality shows that are chopping people up right before you go to bed? And is that what you're feeding your mind before you go and rest and restore and integrate all that stuff unconsciously for 8 hours? Or are you watching something inspiring that's uplifting, that's really about, the human spirit and being excited about what's possible for us as humanity? See, I realized that we watch a lot of shows, a lot of detective shows and all that, but what I got to was what's behind it is, I'm about justice, man. I want to see goodness prevail. And so I watch a lot of shows that are about that. And sometimes those medieval shows, the good and evil shows, they have both sides. But some of them lean more to one side than the other. So be conscious. Really assess your diet. What are you feeding yourself? The second part is to level up your intake, to take a step forward. What are you watching that's going to be something that's nourishing to you? Take a look at your passions. What do you dig? If you like snowboarding or you like, whatever that passion is, go find it on the University of YouTube. Watch some videos of people doing amazing stuff. It will have a positive impact on you. And I also encourage you to read, to feed your mind that good information in the morning and in the evening, right before you go to bed and right before just after you get out of bed. It sets the frame for the day. It gives you such a beautiful lens to see the day when you get up and you feed yourself an inspired idea, or you read from the greats. You really have those positive mentors that are serving you in carving your character and becoming that better human being. And you listen just a little bit every day, or that tape on the way to work, or I say tape, come on, like anything's on tape anymore. That broadcast, that podcast, that audio note, that thing on your iPod, whatever it is that's going to inspire you and light you up, just level up your intake. That's number 2. And the third one is assess your environment, right? What is it in your environment? Is it feeding you or is it toxifying you? When you think about the friends in your life, when you think about the people you interact with on a daily basis, your closest 3 people, they say that your world is reflected by the people you hang out with the most, those 3 people that you're hanging around with all the time. Are they inspiring you? Or are you just talking smack about the way the world is? So really look at the top 3 people in your life and level that up too. Find or convert those 3 people to be champions, to really be on that diet with you, to say, hey, let's talk about stuff that's meaningful. Let's talk about what inspires us. Let's talk about where we're going so that you can be nourished, you can be enriched, you can be engaged in life in a positive way. That's what I want for you, my friend. That's my wish for each of you, is to nourish your soul and to nourish your heart and your mind every day by feeding your mind goodness that's going to move the needle and help you make your difference. That's this week's message. I'm Steve Havill. Until next week, get out there this week and every week, as always, share the love, keep it real, and live your dream today.